Hey Scorpio, how y'all doing? Welcome. We're going to be doing your general monthly reading here. So let's talk about your meditation. Listen, it was short but sweet. The first thing that I saw and heard, was a beach on a very sunny day. And then I heard the Beach Boys singing, "Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if we were older, then we wouldn't have to wait so long." You know, it's a very feel-good, peppy pet tune, right? Like all is well in the world tune. So I saw Scorpio, the Scorpio collective, as it were, sitting on a beach chair on a sunny day at the beach, right, with this song playing, okay? And then I saw this storm move through. Very, very stormy, dark. The sky just became black. Thunder, lightning, the whole nine, right? But I saw this insulated bubble around Scorpio so that none of the rain hit it. Like it was like you guys were completely unaffected. And it was very interesting because I could still hear the Beach Boys song playing within your own insulated bubble. While the world outside, it was like, raining and all this torrential downpour and all this. I just don't want to live it on the timer too. And then I saw the storm pass and it becomes sunny again. And then I saw it become autumn and it took me through a few different seasons. And then I saw the bubble, dissolving around you and you standing up. And you were 10 times bigger than the rest of your surroundings. And then I saw you. It was kind of like this trope within film where it's like God is portrayed as being like, much larger than everybody else, or gods. And then they look down at like these little people down on earth below. It was like you were very, very large, like this creator energy. And then I saw you looked at camera because you were looking to me who was observing you. And I saw you wink and you go, "It's all about the context." Wink. So let's see what's going on for Scorpio for the month of December. I'm like, oh, we got the Phoenix at the bottom of the deck here, which represents y'all. It's fun. It's like, oh, okay. It could be about your internal circumstances not being, dictated or influenced by your external given circumstances, right? Could be something related. Let's see what's going on with Scorpio. Oh my God. Get out of here right now, Scorpio. Oh God. You have the cosmic egg. I just want to take a second. Do you see what I see? Like literally, is this like an insulated bubble? I'm really obsessed with how deep this is going already. So first of all, let me back it up and reverse it. The cosmic egg equates to the world key in the tarot, which is successful and happy completion, which makes a lot of sense because I saw the bubble around y'all dissolving and then you emerging from it like larger than life. In a creator energy, in a observer energy, in a like celebrated, magnificent, I am bigger than, my body gives me credit for, a la John Mayer energy. Like it was just beautiful. Beautiful. So I love the other world. I mean, that is like what you put energy towards in the month of November, right? And whatever stage that is, whatever you put energy towards is going to be successful, is going to find, I'm hearing the words happy completion. Happy completion. There's something about that. Happy completion. Especially if you're someone who starts things and doesn't finish them or has a great idea and doesn't see it through. Happy completion. It could be something that's pre-existing that maybe even started some time ago that is going to find, at least, if not within the month of itself, I feel like you're at least going to be able to see off, even if it's in the distance a ways, like the happy completion point of whatever it is you're working on. Now, for some of you guys, especially because we have the snake represented here, and I actually associate snakes with Scorpio as well, the snake here, which is about transformation, right? Shedding an old skin in favor of a new one. But here's what I'm really obsessed with too. So the snake is at its most vulnerable when it sheds its skin, most vulnerable to predators because its eyes get cloudy and it can't see well. So it's actually relying on its senses and its solitary space. That's why the snake sheds its skin alone. It has to go and find like a really private space, right? So that's really calling to mind this aspect of your meditation where you were quite literally in your own bubble. This is going to be different for different folks, but there is something to that about allowing your own energy to percolate within you and not let it be at the whim of whatever is happening outside of you. There is something to that, okay? Yeah, there is another message here about patience as well, because I'm hearing that song from the Beach Boys, like, then we wouldn't have to wait so long. There is a message here around patience and letting something, cook all the way and let it come out of the oven when it's good and ready. There is also this aspect here. I will say this illustration is actually by Jacob Bryant from, I believe it's, anyway, in the late, I'm pretty sure, Jacob Bryant. And he drew this to represent the birth of the philosopher. And I feel like that is very, very, very pertinent for you. I feel like there is a birth of a new philosophy happening within and for you. Yeah, it's the birth of a new philosophy. This could be you're looking at things differently, you are perceiving things differently, the way that you are moving through obstacles or challenges or your own shadow side is different in a really beautiful way. Also, the snake represents healing, like I said, right? And the egg here, this is the snake, wrapped around the Orphic egg. Orphic egg. That also makes me think of Orpheus, right? The magician who went into the underworld to following Eurydice. See what's going on for y'all. Ooh! Okay. So we have the Five of Pentacles here. I'm really, with all the circle imagery here, there's really something to that. Okay, let's talk. So Five of Pentacles, traditionally speaking, is feeling separate from what you desire, feeling a sense of separatism in general, feeling outside of where you want to be, right? This is separatism. This is feeling like, I don't have what I want. I'm not where I want to be, right? This is a lack mentality as well. But these are wolf pelts. This feels really pertinent. Wolf pelts. This is the skin of a dead animal. The snake sheds its skin in favor of a new one. There's something here. This is a huge transformative and transition point for you. But it feels very like it's happened. It's like a tower that feels very safe, like a tower energy that feels very safe. It is metamorphosis, but it feels like it's happening within a way that is very much within for yourself. It doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of other people involved directly. You know what I mean? Just like the snake can only shed its skin on its own. You have the help of a nearby rock or two, but it's not a group activity. And then we're looking at like snake shedding its skin, and then birth of a new philosophy, or a birth of a new perspective even. And then we have like these wolf skins as well. I have a headache. I mean, in this moment, not in general. This headache, this head tension that I'm feeling, I feel like there's an aspect of you're being called. You're going to spend a lot of time in your head anyway, Scorpio. You're going to spend a lot of time in your head anyway. So if you know that, if you're going to spend a lot of time in your head, why not create a space within your head that feels like a sunny day at the beach? What do I mean by that? So when we spend a lot of time in our head, whether we're trying to figure out our own situation, trying to understand the people around us, trying to problem solve, trying to consider all of our options, trying to whatever this is for you, sometimes this can just be a shift in perspective, but it can be the difference in the way that you approach something. I'm getting a special message about not labeling something or thinking you know how something is going to go before it actually happens. Be careful of your preconceptions of both yourself and others, okay? I'm also getting this wolf energy here. Wolf is very much about the pack, places the needs of the pack before its own needs, right? But it's a counter energy. You see where I'm going with this? The snake is a solitary energy. The wolf is a pack mentality. I'm hearing that for you, for the month of November, I love that we have like the snow here as well. Even though this month for me is very much about, holiday activities and social things, even if that social is through, the video or whatever, the Skype or whatever have you, there is this essence here about you can do that, but also be there with and for yourself. You can take this solitary time with and for yourself as needed and as you feel called to do. It feels like it is your right on the back end of this year to take the time that you need to take to process and transform, okay? Birth of the philosopher. You have people around you who either don't understand this or operate from a very different space. That's okay. You can use your words. You know what I mean? You can use your words. This is to say, like, let's say you have a partner, right, that holds this wolf energy of, you know, we're going to do a group activity. We're all going to get on the phone. We're going to go here. We're going to do this. It's this time of year, all of this. But you're feeling like, listen, I can give some time to that, but I must treat this time within and for myself, alone time, solitary time, contemplation time, bubble time, right? Even if that bubble is sitting in your own space, listening to music, like let's say you're just going to go listen to the Beach Boys and just like stare off into the sky. It's going to be different for different people, but treat it as you would your work time. It's not just the birth of the philosopher, it's the birth of your philosophy. It's the rebirth of you and yourself. You want to make time for that, right? Because let me bring this up. Scorpion energy, right? The scorpion's tail, energetically speaking, the scorpion's tail becomes activated when it doesn't have enough alone time, okay? And then you end up stinging people that you don't want to or mean to sting. Because the reason that the scorpion and Scorpios need that alone and solitary time is because they need the time and space to process the very deep emotions that they feel. Okay, that's coming up for you, and you can multitask and be there for yourself and others. Now we have the Two of Swords. Interesting indeed. The Two of Swords, this is the head and this is the heart. Okay, Two of Swords is about marrying together the head and the heart, having a conference between the two. I'm going, hey head, you're over here. Hey heart, you're over here. Let's have a conference. Who wants to take the floor? What you got to say, okay? And what's your response, right? Spend the time doing this. Have a conference between your head and your heart so that you have all the information, so that you can move ahead from a day-to-day place, I'm getting, from a place of intuition and information. Intuition and information, head and the heart, okay? But I'm also drawn to the salt water here as well. And you being a water sign, but it feels very pertinent here. You know, the salt water, having time to cleanse and release anything that is stagnating within your energy, that wants to come out to be healed and released and processed from this year or even from your recent past as well. Drain feels a bit clogged. Take the time to let it drain, okay? Face your shadows and transform. Hell yeah. And then we have the gorgeous Three of Cups. I love how this is storyboarding. You get, here, look at this. Take a look at this. Look, see. So we have these wolf pelts, which is, you know, the taking the impetus to be in your own energy, but also realizing that like a sense of separatism, I feel like is the medicine around this. A sense of separatism is really just you needing to be in your own space and energy so that you can turn around and be there for the other wolves in your pack, right? Because this does feel like the influence of those around you or an aspect of yourself that is like, oh, I feel like I want to do this, but I'm afraid or I don't want to let anybody down. I don't want to, you know, come on, be there for other people, do this other thing. This is about you honoring your needs, right? Whilst honoring the needs of others that matter to you as well, right? But this is about the change and the shedding of skin and the metamorphosis. And this is how you do it, right? This is marrying together the head and the heart, right? Engaging in that saltwater realness in your own energy and really, oh my God, how long, were y'all going to let me get all this way without saying, in your meditation, the Beach Boys, I saw you sitting on a beach on a sunny day and then we have the beach here. Did anyone else catch that before I did? Because it did me, man. This is marrying together the head and the heart, having a conference that you move forward with both intuition and information, right? But this does require a pause or a series of pauses, which takes you to a party by the beach. Yes, look at these little baby puffins. You know, I really like this because Three of Cups, traditionally speaking, is celebration. It's also community. It's also being social, right? Let the good times roll. Also by the ocean here. I feel like this is storyboarding, and this is how you get from here to here, through here, and into here, which is really where you want to be at the end of the day, because I'm really drawn to something in particular. It's the black and the white. The black and the white is the yin and the yang, just like on the chariot key, right? It's the yin and the yang. It's the balance of both things. And we have the two here, which is the balance between the head and the heart, which takes us into a place where we are able to be there for others because we are and have been there for ourselves. Alone time, socialness, right? Okay. It doesn't have to be Dermonstrong, by the way. I'm hearing it does not have to be Dermonstrong. It is very much about your approach to, these energies, right? You have a right to process this year. You have a right to engage in your own emotional healing and sit with those, deep emotions, right? You have a right to do that, and you don't need anyone's permission, okay? And you don't have to apologize for it either, by the way. Wow. Page of Wands, to clarify, the of Pentacles. Page of Wands for me is the courage and bravery key. It also shows a zest for life, excitement about a new project, excitement about the path ahead, right? I feel like you're being asked to allow yourself to engage in this Five of Pentacles separatism where you're literally going off on your own so you can reemerge and reconnect to the inherent excitement of a child. Think about it. Like when you're quite young, right? There's this energy of like, I can be anything I want to be. Before anyone told you that you couldn't, before you were introduced to self-doubt and criticism and judges and harsh rejection and all of this stuff, right? I feel like you're being asked to separate yourself in a way so you can reconnect with this aspect of yourself from your childhood, or maybe it wasn't the childhood you had, but an aspect of, the childlike self that says, hey, I can do anything that I set my mind to and feel called to do, that is coming from a soul nudge place. It's not coming from ego of like, this is how I can make the most money, but this is coming from a soul place. Yes, I can write this. I can be this. I can take this road and achieve this, right? You're being asked to reconnect with that childlike sense of yourself that believes that they are worthy and capable of anything, okay? Two of Swords. Two of Wands, to clarify, Two of Swords. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? It's like seriously, like this is just like another aspect of this, right? So Two of Wands, traditionally speaking, it's a stillness. It's the making of the blueprint. It's considering all of your options. It's taking mindful consideration of how best to get where you want to go. I'm going to stop off here on X-Men because they have a 7 and a big gulp, and I can fill up on gas and also get me a slushie. That's what this is with the Two of Wands, right? It's giving that thoughtful consideration to things so that when you set out on that path ahead with the Three of Wands, you feel like you're prepared, okay? This is memorizing your lines before you step out onto the stage, right? You're being asked to really, really slow all the way down and have that inner movement and stillness so that you can move ahead and forward with, all of the information and all of the inspiration and with clear emotional waters. There's also an aspect of masculine and feminine here, tying together an equal expression of masculine and feminine energies, which is another way of saying that you are preparing yourself that you can receive and give in equal measure, okay? You've been in a place where you're giving more than you're receiving more than you're giving. You're being called to come to balance around it, okay? Ooh, gorge. Okay, good. So we have the Knight of Wands here with the Three of Cups. So I feel like this is saying, Scorpio, these are your menu options. All of this is up to you. Nothing happens without you, right? So if you take this time, right, to be in your own energy, move through these waters, really process this year, do some inner work and healings, face your shadows and transform, put the work in, put the time in, embrace the truth that abundance is on the other side of fear, all of that stuff. This is the potentiality of where you're going, right? Knight of Wands is a fast, forward-moving energy. Wands rule the realm of the actions that we take, right? You're processing, making the move, then you're in the energy where you're doing the work of the head and the heart and the blueprint, which takes you into happy times, celebration, social times, fast, forward-moving energy. This is really beautiful how this is blueprinting, really, or storyboarding, right? I'm not sure if this is a honey badger or a wolverine, but I'm getting honey badger from this. Honey badger, it's an interesting energy because honey badgers, to look at them, you think that butter wouldn't melt in their mouths, right? But they will mess you up. Like a honey badger will mess you up. So there's a certain sense here of building and accruing your energy for what's to come as well. There is an aspect of that, okay? Is an aspect of. What is that song? Maxine and the Nightingales? We're going to get right back to where we started from. Love is good. Love can be strong. We're going to get right back to where we started from. Oh, God. That's why. Whoa. Okay. Okay, there we go. See how both of these, actually all three of these animals are looking towards the past here? Because the way that I have it on the table, it's like this is the past energies, right? That were coming in here. And then they're both looking towards the past energies. And then in the future energy going forward, do you see how there's one to the past and then one in the future, and then there's one in the present that has, is looking towards the future? That is, okay. So let's talk about this. There is a message here around your past. There is stuff here that wants to be processed. Also, can you pull from your past and mine the fool's gold from the gold? Can you release what is of the past that you don't have any need for, or that you've learned all that you can from, and just release it? I'm hearing distinguish the pyrite from the gold. Distinguish the pyrite from the gold. So pyrite is fool's gold, okay? And then gold is gold, right? Can you distinguish and can you mine? This is what this is. What of the past can you use going forward? What did you learn? What is the good in it? And can you release what is no good, or that causes you pain that you can't actually derive any healing from or help others with, right? I'm seeing an image, okay, they do this with kids, where they're like, okay, kids, do you want to go mining for gold? And they'll have these boxes filled with mud and water, and they'll have these stones, and they give them like these kits where they can mine through the stuff and try to find gold at the bottom of this mud. You're being asked to mine for gold through the muddy recesses of your past. La 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 la. Here's why we can laugh about it. Because by you doing this, it's going to put a beautiful, lovely bow on it, and you're going to be able to move into the Fool's energy with such a fresh, brand new start. Okay? Okay. Yeah, let's get you an oracle. Whew. Forged and transformed by fire. That's you. Forged and transformed by fire. Oh, the phoenix. Hello. Yeah, beautiful. I'm also hearing the song Circle, I think it's called, by Alan Stone. Circle. God. Well, hello. Are you kissing up? Are you kissing up, or the brown nosing? I want to point out something with the crow here. You see how my dude here, this crow is looking this way, and then this crow is looking that way? And we were looking about perspective points and where you put your focus and attention. I want to point something out. There's a mirror here. Do you see that? This crow's looking in the mirror, there's a mirror here. There's a mirror effect here. Yeah, mirror work for sure. And look at all this with the twos and all of this, right? Mirror. So the crow is very much about manifestational magic. It's also about balance and equality. The crow knows how to use its voice, right? It will and must speak up when it sees things that are imbalanced or unjust, unfair. But it will also do the same for you. If you are in a space where you are not operating from your own personal compass, right? Which means, are you allowing yourself to be moved by the obligation around do other things that other people want you to be or do? Or are you abiding by your own internal compass, right? The crow comes forward to say that you really must operate from your own internal compass. Because if you don't, that is where these little, how do I say this? Like towers will pop up in your road to try to divert you back to where the path of least resistance is. Your internal compass knows exactly what you need at all times. And I'm going to tell you something. What actually matters the most is what you need. Yes, others matter, but if you get your own needs met and you follow that internal compass, because you can only be as good to others as you are to yourself. So follow that internal compass, move on your own directives of how you're feeling, and then trust that on the other side of that, you're going to be more equipped, able, and happy, Three of Cups, to turn around and be there for others and join in the fun and games. Okay? The spiral. Spiral. I'm hearing a vision quest, I'm hearing labyrinth, and I'm seeing a spiral. Okay. You know those seashells that, like, I don't know if you had this when you were a kid, but I definitely did growing up. But I grew up on the Gulf, down south. It had these, like, oh, that was weird. These spiral-shaped seashells where you would pick it up and they would say, if you hold it to your ear, you'll be able to hear the ocean. I just got shivers. That is very pertinent for you guys. What does the ocean represent? The unknown. Oh, I get it. Okay. And the crow is very much about clear sight because the crow also equates to the high priestess energy as well. I feel like you're being asked to go deep so that you can see far. Go deep so that you can see far. Okay? Also, when the crow comes up, it is, an energy of high synchronicity, high deja vu, high magic, repeating numbers, prophetic dreams, all of that. Definitely in the energy for you whenever the crow appears. Okay? I'm actually getting a special note around that. Pay special attention to your dreams, especially around the time of the moons, the full moon coming up here and the new moon. Okay? Maybe even keep a dream journal nearby. There's something about that. It's like almost like you're going to be able to have a clear channel to your higher self. And I feel like you might get some questions or answers that you've had for quite some time. Okay? That are going to be able to filter through your subconscious in your dream time. Okay? All right, Scorpio, work it out. Also, lastly, this 3 + 1 is 4. News at 9, I know. 4 is about balance, okay? And I do feel like you are being called to balance here. Okay. All right, Scorpio, this is your general reading. I so hope that this helped and resonated. If so, please do let me know in the comments below. This is the last reading of Monte. And so because of that, I just want to take an extra moment and say thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support during the year and always. And I just appreciate you guys so much. And as always, thank you for being here. And most of all, and truly, Scorpios, thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.